What's going on, guys?
Hey.
So we're back again for another story time, and we have again the infamous My Cookie Dealer. So we actually have the cookie right now. I have it warmed up. This one is OG chocolate chip. So I was feeling kind of just simple tonight. Very laid back, very just, you know, classic. So I got the classic OG chocolate chip. And if you guys haven't checked them out, boom, My Cookie Dealer. There we go.
Chris made us buy more of them.
I didn't make us buy. I begged. I begged to get more because they are so freaking delicious. So today's story time, we're gonna talk about how, well, honestly, this is probably the craziest time in our lives. Like, the most work we've ever had to do in a short amount of time, the most stress, at least in my opinion. I don't know if you think.
No, it was definitely a little crazy.
So, and what we're gonna talk about is from when we moved from Arizona actually back to Florida, and just the transition from Pam getting out of school and like hopping back into work.
And by the way, I told Chris I wasn't gonna have any cookies, and I'm the only one eating it right now.
But like, if you're a husband, you understand this. Like, you order food and you know your wife is gonna say, "Hey, can I have a bite?" Like, you prepare in your mind to know this already. And there are some times whenever I order food, I'm like, "No, I don't want you to have a bite. This is all mine. It's delicious." I know I do. Eventually,
you've changed.
But when we first got married, I legitimately was so adamant. I was like, "Why do you keep taking my food? Like, if you want it so bad, why don't you order it?" And then, but
and we're still dating that we changed that.
I don't know, but either way, I've gotten used to it already. And you know what? Emma does it to Pam, so I know, like, Pam knows how it feels that, like, every time Pam eats something, Emma's like, "I want some. Give me some." So that's always, it's fun to watch that too, because now Pam knows how I feel with her.
It's cute. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I know, because it's our daughter. So.
And I'm your wife.
I know, but like, Emma's a baby.
It should be cute.
It's cute. You cute.
So initially, we were actually on the fence of whether we should stay in Arizona or go back to Florida, because Chris and I love Arizona. We still do. Like, it's in our hearts. We love Arizona.
We're gonna move back there, like, when we retire.
Yeah. Well, we definitely want to retire there. We were thinking, like, well, why don't we stay here? But then we thought about our family and our friends, and we do have like a lot of close friends that live in Florida, and then we do have, obviously, my family's in Florida, and Chris's mom's on the East Coast, so like flying from Florida to Connecticut is easier than flying from Arizona to Connecticut. That was honestly the main reason that we ended up going back to Florida. I don't know when it actually, like, we made that decision, but I had to find a job, so I was like, should I be looking in Arizona or should I be looking in Florida? We finally made a decision, like, you know what, like, we have Emma at that time, actually, so we have a baby, like, we should have her, like, raise her own family, and like, again, it'll be easier for us to fly to Connecticut versus here in Arizona. So we decided to come back to Florida, and we did like the first interview. So I actually had to fly with Emma. I think she was 4 months old at the time.
We did. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was like her first flight. She was 4 months old. And I had to take her because I was still breastfeeding, so I couldn't have left like her with Chris, and Chris was working.
Those were lonely days. I remember that, but there was a lot of pizza. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun too, though.
I'm sure you.
I missed you guys a lot, but I had a lot of pizza.
It was seriously crazy flying with her, because the first time I didn't know what to expect. It was the first time I flew with a baby, and I was by myself. So changing her was definitely difficult, like so difficult. And I've been on many flights before where like you hear the baby crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, is Emma gonna do that? And thankfully she did not. Like, once the plane started going, I gave her a bottle and she was fine. Like, she didn't cry. She slept for the majority of the flight. So that was actually really awesome and a good experience. And I was so happy that she was doing that, because I was by myself and I had no idea what I was doing.
And the flight from Arizona to Florida and Florida to Arizona is not easy, because what, it's a 4-hour flight?
I think it's like four and a half or something like that.
It's like 4 to 5 hour flight, and you have the time difference.
I stayed at my mom's house because it was close to where I was interviewing at, and did the interview, really liked the place, really liked the practice, and I actually had other job interviews as well, but the one obviously that stood out was the one I'm at now, where I absolutely love working there. Chris and I talked about it, and we knew it was a smaller town, but we were like, to me, I feel like I can make anywhere home as long as I'm with like my family. So I knew that even though the small town wouldn't be such of an issue for me, and Chris agreed as well.
Let me just say my experience, just at least from when me and Pam decided that we were going to move back to Florida. So I was working at the time, and I loved my job. I honestly had a hard time wanting to leave Arizona initially, because I loved everything, and I still love everything about Arizona, and I loved the company I was at. When we were actually transitioning over from Arizona to Florida, we had to also pack up our whole house. We had everything laid out because we were honestly convinced for a while that we were probably gonna stay in Arizona. I remember like
that was so stressful.
It was very stressful because there was a lot of time like miscommunications about when the pot was getting dropped off, when it was getting picked up.
And we thought it would be easier, but it's really not. I'm sure people that have moved, like, it seems like an easy concept, like put everything in the truck. But you have to like do Tetris and like stack things, and like it's just honestly way harder than it seemed.
Yeah, unless you have no budget and you're like, whatever. But like obviously like we just had a baby. I was only working. Pam was in school. We had a budget and we had to make sure to make it work. And I'm so thankful that my dad would help this out because it was so difficult. Crazy to think about because sometimes when you look at your house, you're like, oh, like we don't really have much stuff, but the little things add up.
And we've moved before, like obviously we moved to Florida from Arizona.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that bad because what I did, because I was actually off for 6 months before we ended up moving. So I was just packing like throughout those months. But on the way back, it was completely different because then we had Emma. So it's not like we could be like 100% focused on moving. It was like,
someone has to watch the baby.
yeah, someone watched the baby, but then they were like asking me like, oh, where do you want this? But then Dad would watch Emma. But then we needed him again to carry something heavy. So it was really like chaotic. But I'm so proud of the teamwork that we had because it was us three and we all, well, tell us four, Emma was there. But we all like took care of it, and we did it. Like we did it.
Pam actually took a flight from Arizona to Florida, but me and my dad, we don't like the idea of having Chewie and Zara underneath like a plane, you know, and obviously there's things that can happen. But so me and my dad agreed to just drive across the country. And honestly, that was probably the best 3 to 4 days of my life. I can honestly say that because I got to spend so much time with my dad. We talked a lot, and it was cool. So it was just so much fun looking back at that, and like my dad loves our dogs and everything too, so it was fun having him do that. But man, we had a good time just driving around, talking, listening to some audiobooks, just like sharing so much with each other, just like kind of bouncing ideas off each other and like really having in-depth conversations. Sorry about that, but it's quality time like that that is really important, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, and you know, I'm so glad I did that.
Looking for houses when you're in a different state is so difficult because, you know, seeing pictures online is one thing, but having to like coordinate with your realtor that's a different state, these houses you want to see, like it's really complicated. And
pictures online on Zillow
so
deceiving. Like these photographers do a great job making rooms look bigger than they are. And you know, it's not, you know, that's their job.
So the first round around that we went to look at houses, we actually didn't find any that we liked, and we saw a good amount of houses, but none of them just really like stuck. Like none of them felt like home. For example, our Arizona house, like the moment we stepped into it, we're like, this is home. Like I could see us like raising our kids here. Like it was like that instant, like boom, we loved it.
Yeah.
But we didn't get that the first time whenever we came here. I was actually FaceTiming him and like sending him photos and stuff. And actually, so we didn't love any of them, but there was one that we're like, this could be it. So we actually tried putting an offer down for the house. That's one with the pool, remember?
Mm-mm.
You don't remember?
I don't remember any other house now. Like we looked at so many houses.
Oh, I still remember. So there's one that had a pool that we almost got, but then someone else ended up getting it, which in the end I'm happy about because it would be so stressful to like having a pool with Emma because she is like crazy and like loves to go outside and stuff. So in the end it was like fine. Initially like we were bummed out because we were like, this would have been it. So then the next time we looked at houses was actually after we moved here, and the process from moving our house from Arizona to Florida was so chaotic.
Well, I mean, the thing that made it the most chaotic is that we didn't find a house immediately. So what had happened is that thankfully Pam's boss has a guest house. So he let us stay there pretty much until we found a house. And we're so thankful. We also felt bad because we were like, our plan was to find a house either before we got to Florida or like almost immediately when we arrived. And that did not happen. Like that was rough mainly because we had our pod in storage for a number of months, so we knew our stuff was there, and you know, we didn't know what kind of.
Oh
like,
yeah, we
condition it
had
was
like
in.
none of our stuff, which was also like so hard because we packed everything away because in our mind we were gonna move back to Florida, like find the house, unpack our stuff, and then start my job. Our camera just shut off, so this might be a little bit different angle, but it's okay. So the second time that we were looking for houses, there still was nothing that we felt like we could call home. Like there was just nothing there. Thankfully, my boss, he has like another guest house, like separate from his house, where his family was gracious enough to let us stay there, which again was absolutely amazing because at least we had somewhere to stay because my mom's house is an hour and a half away from my job, so that would have been really, really like wearing on me to drive that far every single day. We stayed there, but we still didn't have any of our stuff. I had to buy like new work clothes, like everything, like shoes, shirts, everything, because I didn't have anything. Like none of my clothes are with me. And like we had to buy some stuff for Emma, and like we just had nothing. Then we looked for the third time for a house, and that's where we found this one. And to be honest, I don't know if Chris feels the same way, but this isn't like the house that I was like, oh my gosh, I love it, like I call this home. But this was like the best one we've seen in a while. We were searching for a very long time, so we're like, you know what, like let's just do this because we already kind of felt like we were at his house for too long. Didn't like charge us anything, so like we're using his like electricity and like water and all this stuff, and like they were being so kind to us, would like invite us for dinner. So like it was so nice of them, but I just felt bad because I don't know, I just don't like feeling like I'm like take. So we wanted to find a house right away. So that's where we ended up finding this one. And he even said, he was like, you know, if this isn't the house, like you guys don't have to do it. Like you guys can stay here for longer. And I really appreciate that he said that. But at the same time, like I just did it like knowing that we were gonna be there for so long because again, like we weren't paying for anything. Yeah. So I didn't want to like put like, I guess be annoying.
And it's so crazy too, like I'm so bad at this. I still look at Zillow and I'll be like, Pam, look at this house. Oh. It's cheaper than what we paid for our house. And she'll be like, why do you still do that? I'm like, I don't know, but you know, and I actually do feel the same way as Pam. Like I love the house that we're in right now. I think that it's really good for where we're at right now. But I agree with Pam that this definitely is not like a house that just wowed me the first time that we saw it. And you know, it definitely isn't something that I was like long term, like, yes, we're gonna raise all our kids here. Yes, we're gonna stay here forever. But yeah, no, I think that, you know, our plan is to do as much as we can, save as much as possible, be as diligent and as good of stewards as we can with our money. And then when the time is right, we can obviously build or find our dream home. I
don't know when that's gonna be. I hope it's soon, but I know we still have a lot of things to do before that happens.
Yeah,
but.
I mean, we're still young. We still got things to do.
No, I know. And I'm happy here. Like I'm not like miserable. Too, like this is a really big house. Like we have like a lot of good space, and it's a good neighborhood. So it's not like we're miserable here. It's just not that like home feeling. The next move we have is not going to be far from here. Probably like what 5-10 minutes away from here. So it's not going to be like bad. Yeah. But that'll be years to come because we still have other things to do. But we just wanted to, I know you guys don't know like our whole background story, so we're just kind of doing like little story times here and there so you guys get to learn more about us. Yeah. And if you have any questions or like any videos you want to see, you know, comment below.
Yeah, if you have any ideas for story time or anything you guys want to know, like Pam said, about us that maybe we haven't touched on, let us know. We can definitely do a story time about it. Hopefully it's something interesting and something not boring. But you know, I mean, in that sense as well.
If it'll be a good story, like we'll definitely make a video. But if it's like something I can answer with like
a question
or an answer with an answer, not a question, okay. Then I would just like tell you guys in the comments. But if it's something that we can make, you know, that is actually an interesting story, we'll definitely make a video. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys like this video, and don't forget to like our video
and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Pam does what?
Oh, you have crazy brain too.
Yeah, yeah, so make sure to like the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.